Welcome to Archiversity online classes. In this lecture, I am going to show you how to run multiple linear regression in IBM SPSS. Multiple linear regression is an extension of a simple linear regression where you will have two or more predictors. Using two or more predictors, we try to predict the dependent variable. I will explain this with a real-time example. So here multiple linear regression is an extension to simple linear regression in that there are two or more predictors that are included in the model. So when you have a two or more predictor variables, that is your independent variables or explanatory variables, then we call this as multiple linear regression. Multiple regression models does describe how a single response variable, that is y, depends linearly on number of predictor variables. So predictor variables may be x1, x2, x3, x4 likewise. And you have only one dependent variable, that is y. Now if you have multiple response variables or dependent variables like y1, y2, in such case we use multivariate analysis. Multivariate regression we use instead of a multiple regression, but as we have only one response variable, then multiple linear regression is used. Now examples are that the selling price of a house. So here selling price is your y, that is a dependent variable or a response variable, can depend on a desirability of the location. This is one variable. We can say that x1 number of bedrooms, x2 number of bathrooms, then x3 year of a house was built, x4 the square footage, then x5, so and a number of other factors. So your dependent variable y, this equals to then beta values of x1, x2, x3, x4, x5 will be here. The next example is that the height of a child, that is the height of a child is your dependent variable y or response variable. It can depend on the height of the mother. So we can say that x1 the height of the father, then x2 nutrition that they take, x3 and the environmental factors, x4. So as you have four independent variables here and one dependent variable, we can run a simple linear regression, that is a multiple linear regression. Now the assumptions that we make in a multiple linear regression are that your dependent variable should be measured on a continuous scale. So when you're talking about a dependent variable, this need to be measured on a continuous scale. If your dependent variable is not measured on a continuous scale, then you can go for a other form of regressions like logit regression or binomial logit or multinomial logit regressions. Next is that if you have two or more independent variables which can be either continuous, that is interval or on a ratio scale, or a categorical, that is ordinal or a nominal, in such case also we go for a multiple linear regression. So that means your independent variables may be measured on a interval scale, maybe on a ratio scale, can also be on a categorical scale, that is your rank order scale or a nominal scale. That means in simple terms your independent variable can be measured on any of the four forms of a measurement scales. Then you should have an independence of observations, that is independence of residuals. This we can measure with the help of a Durbin-Watson test. Then there needs to be a linear relationship between the dependent variable and each of your independent variables. That means, say suppose if you have four independent variables, x1, x2, x3 likewise, and one dependent variable, then there need to be a linear relationship between x1 and y. Then also there need to be a linear relationship between x2 and y. So that is another assumption. Next is that your data needs to show homoscedasticity, which is where your variance along the line of a best fit remains. So homoscedasticity we can draw with the help of a QQ plotting on your residuals. The next is your data must not show multi-collinearity. So while running a multiple regression, you also need to check for multi-collinearity. So if when you have two or more variables, there is a possibility that multi-collinearity may present, and if multi-collinearity presents, it creates a problem in your model. So you have to verify whether multi-collinearity is there or not. Then there should not be significant outliers in your data set. outliers are extreme values, so you have to check that also. Then finally you need to check that the residuals, that is the errors, are approximately normally distributed. So to check approximately normally distribution of your residuals, we take standardized residuals and unstandardized residuals, and we compare these two, and we, using an explore, we will check whether standardized residuals have a mean of a 0 and a standard deviation of 1. So if this is there, then we can confidently say that the model which you have predicted is statistically significant and appropriate. This is the description of a multiple linear regression. Now I will show you how to run a multiple linear regression in SPSS. So here we have variables. Now the variables are named as excise commitment of an individual, and we are saying that this is an dependent variable which is measured on diet intensity, social affiliation needs, self-acceptance, self-esteem, and body esteem. So these 5 are your independent variables or explanatory variables, and excise commitment is your response variable. So first we look at the what you mean say is outliers and normality. For that, just go to descriptives, then from there select explore. From explore, select all the variables, send them to dependent list, exclude this case ID. This is a nuisance variable, which this is just an identifier. And in a statistics, select outliers, then click continue push button, go to plots. So here just simply check for normality plots with the tests, then click continue. Then here you have an option where if you want to exclude missing values and all, click continue, then click OK. Here is the output. There are 415 cases and no missing cases are there. And descriptive statistics, in descriptives we are interested in looking at the normality. Further, just check the skewness and kurtosis values, whether they are close to 0 or not. If they are close to 0, then they are normally distributed. So skewness is 0.0 and kurtosis is -0.6, which are close to 0. So your excise commitment is normally distributed. Similarly, diet intensity 0.3 and 0.1, and social affiliation 0.3 and 0.6. So self-acceptance again 0.3 and 0.9, self-esteem -0.4 and -0.2, body esteem 0.4 and 0.0. All these indicates that the data is normally distributed because the skewness values and kurtosis values are very close to 0. Then here you have high and low values. Then test of normality. So all the test statistics, whether Kolmogorov-Smirnov test or a Shapiro-Wilk test, these will obviously show you a significant only, because when your data is large, then automatically this will show you a significance. That is the reason why we verified the normality with the help of skewness and kurtosis. Then the QQ plots on a diagonal line, you can see that all the observations are plotted on a diagonal line, and here in a box plot. So this helps you to identify the outliers. Now there are no outliers here. Now this here we have a one open circle which is 1.5 times of your interquartile range. This is not a problem, cannot be considered as a significant outlier. Here also the same open circles are only there. If you have a star here, then that may be a cause for outlier. So we don't find any outliers. Data is normally distributed. Right. Once you're done with this preliminary test for outliers, the normality of distribution and independent samples, then we move to the regression. For that, click on analyze, then regression. From regression, choose linear regression. So here a dependent variable is your excise commitment. Select excise commitment and send to dependent variable list. Then all these 5, excluding case ID, are your independent variables. Send them to independent variable list. Here you have options for a method, that is enter, stepwise, remove, backward, forward. But first we go for enter method. When we are going for enter method, all the variables are entered in a one go into the model. If you are going for a stepwise, then each independent variable is entered into model, but we go for a enter model. And here are statistics. So model fit, also check R squared change, then a descriptives, part and partial correlations, and collinearity diagnostics. Also check a Durbin-Watson test. Click continue. Then plots, we don't need any plots. Then you have a save option. So here you can save the residuals of unstandardized residuals and standardized residuals to check whether the model is fit or not, and whether the residuals are normally distributed or not. Then if you want to know that whether there are multiple outliers, then you can check a Mahanala BIS, but this data doesn't have any multivariate outliers because we already cleaned the data. So click continue, then click OK. So here is your regression output. First we have a descriptive statistics, mean and standard deviations of each individual variable. Then here you have a zero order correlation. So exercise commitment and diet density is 0.64. Then exercise commitment and social affiliation 0.17. Exercise commitment and self-acceptance 0.18. So this way you have a zero order correlations. Then the model variables entered, all the variables are entered together, and the method we used is a enter method. And here you have a model summary. The R value is 0.59 and R square value is 0.35. So 0.35 is 35%. That means with these 5 variables, we can confidently explain the 35% of a variance in your dependent variable. So here F statistics is 0.3 and degrees of freedom, F change and Durbin-Watson. These all statistics are in line, in the sense your significance value is 0.00, which clearly indicates that the model is statistically significant. And here you have ANOVA values here. Now coefficients, based on the coefficients we look at the multicollinearity. We check with the tolerance. If the tolerance is greater than 0.1, then we can say that there is no multicollinearity. So here all values are greater than 0.1. So there is no problem of a multicollinearity here. Even with the statistics of VIF is should be very high and around a 10 if multicollinearity presence. So here VIF values are 1 only. That means according to VIF also, that is variance inflation factor, there is no multicollinearity. And here you have a collinearity diagnostics and residual statistics are presented here. Now based on all these analysis, we can clearly and we can confidently say that these predictor models, that is these predicted variables, that is body esteem, then diet intensity, self-acceptance and social affiliation, self-esteem, are significantly influencing the exercise commitment of a participants, and the coefficient of determination, that is R square, is 0.35, which indicates that 35% of a variance in the dependent variable, that is exercise commitment, can be explained with the help of these 5 independent variables. So this is how you need to run the multiple linear regression in IBM SPSS and test the assumptions as well as interpret the results. Thank you for watching the lecture.